Well, happy Thursday Memorial. Pastor Alyce here. As our nation has sworn in a new president, it seems somehow fitting for us to contemplate our Christian understanding of leadership. So let's contemplate together, shall we? The church is full of symbolism, including the vestments that clergy wear. For example, the stole that is around the elders' shoulders symbolizes the elders having taken on the yoke of Christ, whereas the deacon's stole that was worn across the shoulder symbolizes the deacon becoming Christ's servant by donning a towel as Jesus did in the upper room during the Last Supper. Both stoles are symbols of becoming Christ's servants. Here's a portion of scripture at the heart of this symbolism. So he, referring to Jesus, got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. Those in the upper room with Jesus that night were astonished at what he did. It was the task of the lowest ranking female servant in the house to wash the guests' feet. Now, then as now, I should say, people think it is almost scandalous to see leaders acting humbly in kneeling in servitude to their subordinates. Jesus told all in the room that he was setting an example for them for how leaders are to lead. What Jesus did that night was not just for those in the room, though. It was done for all who would follow in Jesus' footsteps as leaders in whatever settings they found themselves. Once again, Jesus turned convention on its head to make the point of how leading with love is sacrificial, humble, difficult, and yet contrary to human convention. It's the most effective way of leading, however. You see, leaders always have a choice in how they will lead. When one is in a position of leadership, one is given power and authority over others. That can be heady stuff. In the home, leaders have authority to make decisions that affect every family member's mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. In the political world, leaders have power and authority over people's daily lives in the laws they make and enforce. In the corporate world, leaders have power and authority over a person's livelihood. And in the judicial world, leaders have power and authority over people's freedoms. And in the church, leaders have power and authority over the life of the church and the spiritual lives of its members. Power and authority in the hands of a despot focused on using power for selfish purposes in any realm can be incredibly destructive in people's lives. Jesus understood this. He wanted us to understand that power and authority in the hands of his followers was to be selfless. Upon ordination, the bishop of our conference says to the ordinand, "Take the authority." That holy authority is not given to benefit self or dominate others, but to put others first and serve them. Likewise, lay leaders in the church are often commissioned in their roles and given authority to put others first and to serve them too. It seems always that Jesus' ways are contrary to the ways of the world, and we are reminded of this in Isaiah 55, verses 8 and 9, where it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." Indeed. Selfish use of power and authority intended for ego feeding and self-aggrandizement can be like addictive and destructive candy. And thus it is a wise Christian leader who understands this and prays, "May your kingdom come and your will be done." In earnest, and as a reminder of Jesus' charge to lead as Jesus leads, not lording power and authority over others, but symbolically washing their feet, equipping others lovingly to live into becoming more Christ-like and selfless, as a loving servant leader demonstrates. All of us at some time or another are called to be leaders in our homes, schools, places of work, and our church. So friends, when you respond to that call, take off your outer garment, don your towel with humility, and serve with love. God bless you.